What's good, y'all? I'm about to react to this RDJ will revive comic book movies. Marvel new strategy for movies and shows in the MCU. Give us the news, Cosmic Wonder. Can't wait to hear this.
So it looks like Marvel's master plan that they have for the MCU is actually going to work and help make a huge comeback. And we're actually hearing now that Robert Downey Jr. returning as Doctor Doom is going to save comic book movies, according to a new.
Yeah, they gave him $200 million. Hey, he got to do something to save the MCU. Am I right? Shoot. And Doctor Doom gonna be the main focal point. I want to see how they're going to put more into his storyline, because they really didn't put too much in there for like the last Fantastic Four films. And I thought he was going to be in this movie of Fantastic Four, but we really didn't see that. But man, they need to put more into Doctor Doom. I need to know more about Doctor Doom because I really don't read comics. So I need to see that more screen time with Doctor Doom, you know?
Report from somebody who worked with Robert Downey Jr. and somebody who seems to have some insider knowledge about Doomsday. Now, Kevin Feige has been revealing their plans for the MCU as a whole, how many movies they're going to do, how many shows they're going to do, and now Brad Winderbaum, who is in charge of Marvel Television, has spoken up a little bit about what their true plans really are moving forward. And I gotta say, I think this plan is actually going to work, and it's gonna bring us back to how the MCU was in the Infinity Saga, but adding Disney Plus in a good way, not an overwhelming way that makes you have to do a lot of homework. So we'll dive into all of this, but first we'll start with this article that states, Iron Man director believes Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom will save comic book movies, and he might be right. This is coming from comicbook.com, and they state just over a year ago, Marvel Studios shocked fans by not only confirming the next Avengers movie would bring Doctor Doom into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but that former Iron Man star Robert Downey Jr. would be the one wearing the mask. Having walked away from the MCU after Iron Man's death in Avengers Endgame in 2019, Downey's return was stunning. As they go on, they state one former Marvel collaborator has a take on Downey's casting that might be more exciting than any leaked teases. And I must say, after reading this, I kind of think we might not know too much about Doomsday. But they say, speaking with Comic Book for his upcoming film Play Dirty, we asked Shane Black his thoughts about Downey taking on the role for Avengers Doomsday. Black has long been a major collaborator with Downey Jr., working with him on 2005's Kiss Kiss, Bang Bang, before going to write and direct 2013's Iron Man 3. The filmmaker also has a history being a major comic book fan, so he certainly has thoughts about what it could mean. He said, I think he's going to single-handedly reinvigorate the entire comic book movie industry with that. I mean, it seemed like at first a cynical idea. You know, oh, let's just go back to the well of the one guy that seems to always save us. But it's going to work. It's really going to work. And he's brought to it. I'm not at liberty to say anything. Not that I know. I'm thrilled because I'm first in line to see that. I haven't seen all the Marvel movies. I'll see that one first. So he literally says he's brought to it. I'm not at liberty to say anything. And then he says, not that I know. He clearly knows something, right? He clearly knows something. He's clearly seen Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom to be able to say this. He's clearly seen some scenes. He was probably on set for some things. He might have even seen some edited scenes right now because we know they're in post-production. They've wrapped filming. They're going to be working on that teaser trailer pretty much right.
I always wondered that. I want to know Doctor Doom, he also has like an infinity gauntlet that he customized or stole from Thanos. And he did the same snap as Iron Man, but just for like a whole different universe. I want to know they put that in that movie. Or they did something with the Infinity Stones. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I remember watching Loki and they had the Infinity Stones in like a drawer. Like, dang, they disrespect the Infinity Saga like that. They ain't give a F about them stones in Loki, though. I'm like, man. So really, it must just be time. Time always is a precious commodity in universes. And how everything outcomes with good or evil. Cause man, that's crazy.
now, probably getting it out a year before the movie comes out. But very clearly, he has seen something here, and he says that Robert Downey Jr. is so good, basically, that it's going to reinvigorate comic book movies. It's going to save comic book movies. And I wouldn't be surprised at all. Robert Downey Jr. did an amazing job with Tony Stark / Iron Man. There's no reason to think that he wouldn't do the same with Doctor Doom. And this has me thinking now, if he does that good of a job playing Doctor Doom, then perhaps he's going to remain Doctor Doom after we get the reset after Secret Wars. Especially if the true reset is actually at the end of Doomsday and Secret Wars is kind of the start of the new universe. Well, then he's still there. And he will indeed be the new Doctor Doom of the new MCU going forward with the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, etc. So if that happens, let me know what you think of that. Him being the true Doctor Doom of the new universe. So that's just a part of their plan.
I ain't gonna lie, when I first heard that news, that kind of threw me off. Like, what? How can he be the Doctor Doom? He was just Iron Man. I really didn't get that. And I also pay attention to the audience in the crowd that announced RDJ as Doctor Doom. They got up on their feet and clapped like, what? Are y'all serious? Y'all should be disappointed right now. Y'all should be mad. You know what I'm saying? But I really didn't get that. Maybe it must be in the comic books because I really don't read comics. And I'm still like confused as how they going to set all that up. So Iron Man and Doctor Doom must have like a fusion collision with each other. Something like that. But I want to see how they going to play with that. I hope they have like a part of RDJ's Tony Stark and Iron Man in this movie too. But it would be cool though.
Bring Robert Downey Jr. back as Doctor Doom, and keep in mind, this was very well thought out by the Russo brothers. Now, Robert Downey Jr. met with Kevin Feige, agreed to return as Doctor Doom a whole year before the Russo brothers came back on board. Robert Downey Jr. was asking the Russo brothers to return. They kept saying no. They said no for over a year until finally a story clicked in their mind to where they said, that is the story that we have to tell. We will return. So this story, it's not going to be just a feeble attempt to revive the MCU. That's not what it is. And that's what they're saying. That's actually what the director said. Yeah, at first, that's what it seemed like. But now, after he's seen everything, that's not what it is. This is a part of a bigger plan that Marvel Studios has. And according to this guy, it's going to work. So I have faith in Robert Downey Jr. and I have faith in the Russo brothers. And now it looks like Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, really does have a good grip on everything that they're going to do with Marvel moving forward, how they're going to handle movies and shows. And Marvel's actually going to cut back on what they do, which I believe, and what Kevin Feige believes, is a good thing. Here's what he had to say in an interview with Games Radar. Okay. Games Radar said, there's some consternation in the fandom that First Steps is the last Marvel Studios film before Avengers Doomsday. What would be your response to those who say it's too long to wait? Kevin Feige said, well, Spidey is next year. I don't know. I mean, I know what the story of Avengers is, so it feels like enough to me. You know, we've talked about the over-expansion before, of being overly zealous to tell double the amount of hours of stories in the last 5 years than we did in the previous 12 years. I do think
I ain't gonna lie, him reading that excerpt and saying Spidey is next year, that kind of threw me back like years of how the last Spider-Man film was. That was 2021, so man, it's finna be 5 years for next year, soon as Spider-Man Brand New Day come out. Then I was looking like the old Spider-Man movies of Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. It's like they released like their films 2 years after, you know what I'm saying? You know, you had Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, you had Spider-Man 1, came out 2002. Then you had Spider-Man 2 of Tobey Maguire, came out 2004. That was 2 years after. Then you had his third movie, that was 3 years after. So you had Spider-Man 3, you had that in 2007. Then you had Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies. Had The Amazing Spider-Man, had 2012. Then you had his next movie. This was Spider-Man 2. What was it? The Amazing Spider-Man 2. had in 2014. So it was 2 years after. Then they didn't even give him a third movie. I really don't even know the reason why they didn't give him a third movie though. That's messed up, man. That ain't fair for Andrew Garfield, dude. They can still do it, honestly. But even though his third movie was the No Way Home movie with him, Tobey Maguire, and Tom Holland. Then you had Tom Holland films, which came out 2016. You had Spider-Man Homecoming, which came out 2016. Then you had Spider-Man Far From Home, which came out 2019, which was 3 years apart. 3 years after. Then you have Spider-Man No Way Home, which was 2021. It was just 2 years after. So, man, it's the longest awaited Spider-Man movie. It's finna be 5 years next year when that movie comes out. You know what I'm saying? But, man, yeah, they really was holding projects. And, yeah, because of COVID. I can blame COVID for that. But, man, MCU need to get back on track, man. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, we at least need to get like two to three Marvel movies a year if they can do that. Plus the shows, I really don't want to watch the shows no more. I'm just focusing on the movies. Focusing on the movies, man.
A slowdown, which we've already started to do in TV and are now doing in movies, is in order. I love the idea that there's Fantastic Four now. There's Spider.
Focusing on the movies and games. Since the Wolverine game came out, woo! That Wolverine trailer, y'all better go check that Wolverine trailer out right now. That Wolverine trailer was nice, man. I'm pre-ordering that game. At day one, pre-ordering that game. I don't know why I can't wishlist that game right now. Maybe they waiting. They waiting for something. I can't even wishlist that game right now. And I also did a video about it, so go check it out on my channel. You know what I'm saying? But man, that Wolverine trailer was something special. I ain't gonna lie, it's beating other Wolverine trailers right now. I ain't gonna lie. Wolverine movie trailers. Hey, Hugh Jackman, hey man, I ain't gonna lie, he might beat you in Wolverine right now, dude. Just how the bloodiness, the goriness is in that game right now. Oh my God. Shoot, that might be my first Spider-Man game experience, since that's my favorite superhero game. Out of all superhero games that I played, Marvel Spider-Man 2018, the PS4, the original copy of that game, my favorite out of everything, man. But I ain't gonna lie, Wolverine might beat that right now. Hey.
Brand New Day, and then there's Avengers Doomsday a year from now, and a year and a half from now. I think that's okay. I think it's okay to let people miss you in the theaters for a while before coming back in a big way. So
Also, would y'all like for me to do like movie reactions? Put it down in the comments. Y'all want to see me do movie reactions.
basically, one, Kevin Feige says, it's funny because they're like, oh, we have to wait so long. And he's like, no, we have Spider-Man coming up. And yeah, we do. And then Doomsday, but they're coming back in a big way. And Marvel's finally understanding it's okay to let people miss you. Because I've always talked about this, but I remember going to see a Marvel movie used to be like a big event because you didn't.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm really more stronger if somebody like mention like something that I could really talk on. I could probably talk for like 5 minutes on something they were just talking about, 3 to 5 minutes, instead of me just like trying to like paraphrase in my brain. Like if I probably do like a movie review without the movie showing, I might not have like a sense or a remembrance of how that went down. So I always like have stuff like in front of me so I can have like a better explanation of how stuff went down and how that occurred and that type of stuff. So I like to do reactions more than do like an actual movie review. So I can have it in front of me. I can just, analyze it, talk about it, and just go on with that.
Get that many that often. We got 2 a year for a really long time. Then sometimes some years they upped it to 3 a year. But still, even in that time, they were just like big events. It was like a big thing. Like, oh, the new Marvel movie's going out. We got to go see it. And then that all built to Infinity War and Endgame. We haven't quite had the same build up because we've had so many different shows and so many different movies come out, and we haven't had time to really miss Marvel. And some of the stuff has been mid. Some's been amazing, some's been mid, and some hasn't been that good. I'm looking at you, Secret Invasion. But sounds like Kevin Feige is very confident in what they are doing now, and he's very confident.
What was they doing with Nick Fury's storyline Secret Invasion, man? They done made Samuel L. Jackson a joke in the MCU with that movie. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. That was the weirdest project of all MCU projects. Oh my god, dude. They had Nick Fury dating a scroll. They had him dating an alien, dude. And like, what? That made no sense. And Amelia Clark, I remember her from Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones. Oh, Game of Thrones, that show was fire. That whole show was fire to me. But they had her like a scroll type of Hulk, type of whatever they had going on. Boy, they bring her back in the MCU right now, that's not going to be good. Just like She-Hulk wasn't a good project. But if they bring her back, boy, it's going to be something, boy. Oh, man, I don't think the fans going to like that. But it's whatever.
They're going to come back in a big way with Avengers Doomsday. And we already know Spider Man Brand New Day is going to just knock it out of the park as well. But they're slowing down. They're not going to make as many movies. They actually are going back to 2 movies a year, to 2 to 3 movies a year, which I think is great. And now we've recently discovered on the TV side, they're actually taking a more traditional television approach. Yes, these shows and everything are still going to be based in the MCU for the most part. Like Zombies is not based in the MCU. We have Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2 coming out. That's not based in the MCU. But Brad Winderbaum, the head of Marvel TV,
Wow, a season 2 for that show. I ain't look at that show yet. I really don't want to. Man, I'm so tired of these shows right now. Oh my god, dude. I'm tired of these shows. I just want these movies. I'm looking forward to Spider-Man, Avengers Doomsday. See how they do with that. But hey, man, it is what it is, man. They can bring it back.
says that basically now, when they develop stories, when they develop new projects, they're going to develop them to run for multiple seasons. So not just like a one and done like Moon Knight. I would love for Moon Knight to have gone on for several seasons, but well,
I did enjoy Moon Knight though, but I think it should only deserve one season. At least they did give us a little background of character. Just shows like that, I wish they just give us like background more of the character. But I like Moon Knight. I like Moon Knight to come back in Avengers Secret Wars. I like Moon Knight. Agatha I really liked, but I really didn't get how Joe Locke got his powers. But I like Agatha the character though. I like her to return back in Secret Wars. WandaVision I love also. Even though they did messed her up in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness though. Man, they messed her whole up in that movie. Even though she made her like a antagonist killer, and she's supposed to be like a superhero also, that was kind of messed up. Even though she killed the famous Charles Xavier, man, if y'all really didn't go back and see that whole scene played out, oh my god, I do not want to see that scene again. I will watch the movie, but I'll probably skip over that scene because just some stuff really was just downright embarrassing and just hard to look at and just disrespectful, dude. Actually killed Charles Xavier, the old Charles Xavier from the X-Men franchise. That's the only character that I really like looked and cared about. Like, man, he was a good Charles Xavier. Probably him and Alan McClain, they was downright the best Magneto and Charles Xavier, dude. Even though I like the dude from X-Men First Class as Magneto and Charles Xavier, I like those actors too. I love those actors. I grew up watching those actors from 2011. I grew up watching them, but but man, I like the older cast of X-Men too. But man, shoot, I hope this movie be good, man. That's all I want, man. I want to see how they gonna make this movie.
Have to wait and see on that. But now he says that their release strategy is to actually make seasons, make shows that they can make multiple seasons of. So the best example right now is Daredevil Born Again. We got season 1, we're about to get season 2, and they've already...
Wow, I ain't seen a Daredevil Born Again show. I ain't even see that. But I really did enjoy Daredevil season 1 though. Oh my god. That show was nice, man. I just love Daredevil, Kingpin. Just them two right there. Oh my god, they solidified it. Then they had Punisher come out the second season. And I really didn't finish that show up. I gotta go back and look at that whole show again. I really enjoyed that show. Because I really didn't get to season 3. I got to season 2 when Punisher made his old appearance. But man, season 1 of Daredevil was nice. Was fantastically phenomenal.
confirmed season 3. Daredevil does exist in the MCU. That show is in the MCU. But there's not like a super... Just there's not a ton of crossover there. Not that we've seen yet. We've heard... we met Kamala Khan's father, and he said that she's in California, most likely trying to recruit some...
Hey, since Punisher gonna be in Spider-Man Brand New Day, why not Daredevil? Shoot. I would like to see how they got all these TV show characters. Just put them in Secret Wars, dude. Put them in a movie, man. Make them feel remembered. Because people really don't go back and look at the shows like that. They really don't. They just forget about it or just watch it at a later time. But just put them in the movies. Put them in Avengers Secret Wars so they can really feel remembered and show them all their powers, man. I want this to be the longest movie. I want Avengers Secret Wars to be the longest Marvel movie they ever produced. That's what I want.
Other young Avengers, so it is all connected, but the specific story of Daredevil is not going to be required. You're not going to have to watch the entire show to know what's going on in the MCU movies. That's their new strategy, to get really cool characters and make shows about them that can go on for several different seasons that do exist in the MCU, but are not required homework for the movies. And that is...
I ain't gonna lie, I want Avengers Secret Wars to be longer than Endgame was. Even though they did have like a little bit of woke stuff in there. But I really liked that movie, dude. How they showed everybody teaming up together, like in certain portions of that movie. Boys, just helping get that glove off of Thanos, not for him to snap again. But all around, Iron Man just get the glove, the Infinity Gauntlet, snap his fingers to save everybody. That's what a heartfelt moment right there, dude. Iron Man, one of my favorite characters of all time. For him to do that, boy, that was a heartfelt moment right there, man. But even though I love Endgame, but I want Secret Wars to be a longer movie than Endgame. I think Endgame was like a 3-hour movie. 3-hour and 21-minute movie, something like that. But man, I want Secret War to be at least a 5-hour movie, in my opinion. Even though you even though you got like a weak bladder, I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, get you a water bottle, pee in that mug, and hey, just sit back down, enjoy that movie for another 2 more hours, 3 more hours. You know what I'm saying?
100% how it should be. And they've said already they are going to slow down with both movies and TV. So we are basically going back to what they did with the Infinity Saga. They did 2 to 3 movies a year, and now they're simply adding a couple of...
And I also heard they was gonna make a whole like project of Captain America Return to Infinity Stones. I think it was a whole project they was gonna do. I wonder if it's still gonna do that project. Cause that's the whole storyline for Avengers Doomsday. They're gonna set up Captain America again on him like return to Infinity Stones. But they was gonna make that whole TV show project or movie project, whatever how they was gonna do that. But actually now that's gonna be the whole storyline of Avengers Doomsday, how that everything unfolded. How probably gonna have a fight between Doctor Doom and Captain America. Bruh, that's gonna be crazy. Probably Captain America remembering Tony Stark and Doctor Doom. And RDJ gonna be like, who is Tony Stark? Boy, that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be crazy how they gonna sell that up though.
Live action shows that aren't required. They're not required watching for the MCU story, but hopefully they'll just be good. And then they'll throw a couple animated shows out there as well. So not too much. And the biggest thing that I think really the multiverse saga suffered from in the very beginning, and Disney and Marvel have already admitted this was their fault, Kevin Feige was spread way too thin. They did so much and he was in charge of all of it that he had to oversee just a ton of different projects at the same time, and that led to just not good things being produced. And I don't know why, but Marvel and Disney actually in general decided to hire people who just had no knowledge of comics, no knowledge of the stories that they were telling. For some reason they decided to hire these people, and then they wondered why the shows didn't work out, or the movies didn't work out the way they thought they were going to. So hopefully that's done too. But now Kevin Feige is no longer in charge of television. That's Brad Winderbaum. He has placed him fully in charge. Kevin Feige doesn't really have to oversee anything, so he's solely focused now on these 2 to 3 movies a year. So it's basically how it was before on the movie side, which I think is a great strategy. Delegating Marvel Television to Brad Winderbaum, who has done a pretty good job since he's been in charge, and having Kevin Feige do what he's always done. That's the new strategy, and honestly, it's a great strategy. Let people miss Marvel, okay. And then when you finally get Marvel again, you get a banger movie, you get a banger TV show. That is seemingly our future. That, with Robert Downey Jr. possibly being the main Doctor Doom of this new universe. So go ahead, please let me know what you think about all of this. Do you like Marvel's new plan? Do you think it's going to work? Would you like Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom to be the main Doom moving forward? Let me know in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest Marvel news. You can also catch us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.
Man, yeah, I would like RDJ to be the main Doctor Doom. If they can make it work, though. If they make it work. If they give Doctor Doom more of a storyline, more of how I feel for the character, more like feel his presence, feel his beginning, feel his reign, feel his sadness. Just a light. That's how I became in love with Thanos, man. Just how they did with Thanos, dude. Just of how he became up in power, how he was this villain, just torturing people, killing people. It's kind of messed up, though, but kind of made more sense to his storyline. And how he was trying to get somewhere to create his own universe. Boy, I would like to see a project if they did like a Thanos universe. Have afterwards, I ain't gonna lie, have the end game of how they had Thanos just on a different planet. He just living life, just living, just loving it. I wonder if he ever had like a family on that planet, of how he was all by himself alone. I know he had to do more stuff on that planet, even create his own type of people or whatever. But I want to know if they have like a more of a Doctor Doom storyline similar to like that, just like on universes, or where was he born and how he developed and all that type of stuff. But whatever they do with this movie, man, I'm here for it. I can't wait to look at it and see how they do, though. Well, I can't wait for Spider-Man Brand New Day come first, and then Doomsday comes second. Then I think we're supposed to get Doctor Strange 3 probably in 2027. And then we're supposed to get Secret Wars, but I don't know if we're supposed to get another project after Doctor Strange 3 or before or after, but it is what it is, man. Don't forget to run them views up, and appreciate the video, Cosmo One. This was a good video, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.